is kinds of sentences. We will do the sentences based on function, on their function, what function they perform. Based on that, see, sentences can be divided into two types, one based on function, one based on structure. We are going to do the sentences based on function. That means, what do these sentences do? What are they supposed to do? These sentences based on their functions. Fine, let us go ahead. You can see I have listed the types of sentences for you based on function. There are 5 of them. Fine. The 5 of them are the declarative sentences, the interrogative sentences, the exclamatory sentences, imperative sentences, and optative sentences. So you might have heard of some like interrogative, exclamatory, I'm sure. Declarative is actually assertive sentences. They are also called declarative sentences. And number 4, imperative, I'm not sure whether you have read it in class 5, but we will learn about it in this class, class 6. Imperative and optative will also be done. Fine. So the first 3, we are going to begin with the first 3 today, and in the next video we will do imperative and optative. First one is the declarative sentences. I've already told you what are they called. They are also called assertive sentences. Why? Because they give us some information. They make certain statements. We get to know about opinions about of people, or they might give us some information about some facts. Fine. Any general statements that are made, they are called assertive sentences. And they are generally, these sentences end with a full stop. For example, I love the movie and I did not like the movie. Now you can see that there is a difference. One is conveying some positive information, one is talking about something negative. Now what are negative sentences? Negative sentences which have no, never, not, these kind of expressions. So when you know that something is not there, then that is a negative sentence. So declarative sentences can be both positive or negative, and I have listed one for both of them. You may give like I like coffee. That is also a declarative sentences. I'm going to come to your house tomorrow. That is giving information. So that is a declarative sentences. Okay, so all opinions, all statements, all information, everything. Generally, we speak. We when we are speaking, we generally use declarative sentences more often. Fine. Okay, now we come to interrogative sentences. Now, what are interrogative sentences? Asking questions, correct. And all interrogative sentences end with a question mark. Okay, it ends with a question mark. So, whenever we are asking questions, they are called interrogative sentences. Now, there are two things that you need to be careful about. One is that, which I've already noted over there, they may be positive and negative. Just like declarative sentences could be positive or negative, interrogative sentences too could have a positive meaning and a negative meaning. For example, did you like the movie? It's positive. You're just asking a question. You don't know whether it might be positive. But the second one, didn't you like the movie? It's giving a negative connotation. So that is one thing. And we're going to talk about these types of interrogative sentences also at the end of this video. We will be dealing with it in details. The different types of interrogative sentences. Okay. But one thing I would like to clarify here, students, sometimes when we are just talking to each other, we ask interrogative sentences to each other, but we don't follow the correct format. For example, you ask me sometimes when we are talking to each other, ma'am, is this is coming in the exam? This is coming. So, is that correct? It's not correct. It is an incorrect way of speaking. This is coming is a declarative sentence, but you're putting a question mark at the end of it. So when you're writing, this will never do. When we are speaking informally, we accept, we don't mind. But when we are writing, is this coming? Get into the habit of that. Is that clear to all of you? Fine. We are going to do the third type of sentence, that is exclamatory sentences. Now, exclamatory sentences end with an exclamation mark. These sentences, they end with an exclamation mark, or exclamatory sentence ends with an exclamation mark. Now, these express feelings, emotions, isn't it? What a lovely movie. After seeing the movie, you say, what a lovely movie. Or it can also be negative. I can't believe you made this movie. So that is a negative connotation. Cannot, cannot. I told you no, not, never. These three words, if they are a part of our sentence, then they make it a negative sentence. So we have learned exclamatory sentences both in the positive and in the negative. But it's very important to end with an exclamation mark. All exclamatory sentences will end with an exclamation mark. Do not forget that, students. I was telling you we will do different types of interrogative sentences. There we are. Now just learn these 5 which are there. Yes or no questions. Okay. Sometimes we ask yes or no questions. Or sometimes we also have yes or no questions with auxiliary verbs. You note it down. I will explain it in the next coming slide. WH questions. Questions that offer a choice to the listener. And the last one is question tags. These are the 5 types of interrogative sentences. Now I shall explain one by one each of them. I have made a list for you, a table for you to understand this very clearly. Okay, first is the kind of interrogative sentence. Then the function, that means what do they do? See, we are learning kinds of sentences based on their function. So we need to understand that if we need to understand what types of interrogative sentences they are, we need to understand what function they perform. And I have also given you one example, a sample sentences to understand clearly. The first one I told you is a yes or no question. That means when you ask a question and you expect a yes or no in reply, then that is a yes no interrogative sentence. For example, did you enjoy the movie? The person may say yes, the person may say no. So these are the two options, isn't it? These are the only two options which the answers will be to these interrogative sentences. So they are called the yes no questions. Fine. Usually in the exam, we avoid asking these yes no questions because then it's just a one word answer, yes or a no. We generally don't ask you these. We ask you other types of questions. Have you noted that, students? Okay. Next, there is a question with a yes or no question with an auxiliary verb. Now, what are these auxiliary verbs? I'm sure some of you remember, but let me just explain to the students who might have forgotten. What are auxiliary verbs? See, in every sentence you will see there is always a main verb and a helping verb. A helping verb is the auxiliary verb. Fine. For example, in the first question, like in the first sentence, did you enjoy the movie? The main verb is enjoy, correct? And but the auxiliary verb is did. Is that clear? Now you tell me in the next sentence, may I come in? In this particular sentence, which is the auxiliary verb and which is the main verb? I'm sure you have understood now. May is the auxiliary verb and come is the main verb. You have to understand, students, that these yes or no questions with auxiliary verbs, they generally ask for permission or advice, or sometimes they even request. For example, this sentence, may I come in? What is it? You tell me. Is it a permission? Is it an advice? Or is it a request? It's a permission. Correct. Can you give me someone like for an advice? For example, could you tell me, could you please help me with this problem? That's an advice. You're asking for an advice. Okay. Could you tell me how I should come out of this problem? That's an advice. Or for example, request. Could you please uh, pass the sugar? That's a request. Now you will see may, could. These are different types of auxiliaries. They are called modals. You will learn them later on, students. But they express the mood of the verbs. Okay. So when your teacher explains to you modals in the next class, in class 7, then you will know exactly. You remember this. They express mood of the verb. Fine. Some emotions are associated with the verbs. Okay, now we come to the third one. Questions that offer a choice. Now, would you like to have tea or coffee? Would you like to watch a movie or a video? Or would you like to study or sleep? These are options, isn't it? So these expect a choice of an option. And you have lots of these coming all the time when you're on the internet or when you're buying something, when you're buying online, you always have these options. Which flavor? Would you like to have a vanilla ice cream or a chocolate ice cream? Chocolate is definitely my favorite one, isn't it, students? Okay, so these are the types of questions, interrogative questions, which give you a choice, which gives the listener a choice. And they will have to say, okay, I shall have coffee. No, I shall have tea. Fine. Now, next one is the WH questions. Like from the word itself, WH, we have learned them. All these WH questions, when, where, what, why, which, who, how. How is also a WH question, by the way. W and H both are there. Okay. Now, there could be some more also. I have listed the most common ones. When did you see the movie? Where did you see the movie? Why did you see the movie? It goes on. Fine. So all these are the WH questions which will ask for a specific information. See, when means you're asking for the time. Where means you're asking for the place. Why you're asking for a reason. Which you're asking for the particular uh, movie that you're asking about. Fine. So these always have specific answers, and most often teachers give you these type of questions in your exam paper, isn't it? They use a lot of WH questions. Yes. Now we move on to the question tags. Now when we are speaking, we generally use these question tags, but uh, you can see the movie. The movie was amazing, isn't it? It's very informal, but it's also accepted as formal language. You could use these question tags. They are very, very, very interesting. They make uh, per- the entire conversation very interesting. So, short questions added at the end of declarative sentences. You use a declarative sentence, and at the end of it, you add a tag. You tag one question there. Fine. So you're tagging something. Don't we tag photographs and other things? Here you're actually tagging a question with a declarative sentence. The movie was amazing. You thought that it was amazing. But you also, then you suddenly want to know other people's opinion, isn't it? You want to know your friend's opinion. The movie was amazing, isn't it? Then you can also say, the weather is so depressing, isn't it? So these are the types of question tags. But remember, students, you will have to put a comma after the declarative sentence and a question mark at the end of the sentence. Why? Because it is an interrogative sentence. Will you remember this, students? Always the after the when you're using a question tag, you are supposed to first write the declarative sentence and then write the question tag and put the question mark at the end. Yes? Wonderful. With this, students, we come to the end of today's lesson. We have learnt declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, and exclamatory sentences. Fine. In the next video, we will learn about operative and imperative sentences. In the meantime, revise declarative, exclamatory, interrogative, and also the types of interrogative sentences. Till then, stay safe, take care. Bye, students.